Shoot the front end and the back end.
The experience was great, and it is what's crazy about that is this time around, it was like, all right, we older now. There's more skills involved. It's like, all right, now let's see how it's gonna go this time. And when I got in the ring, I'm not gonna lie, he surprised me with how much defense he really had.
The tension between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson has hit an absolute breaking point, and what unfolded in their most recent face-to-face meeting has the entire boxing world buzzing with excitement for January 31st. These two elite fighters didn't just trade words this time. They stepped up close and personal in a way that made everyone present feel like the fight was about to erupt right there on the stage.
Who surprised me?
Yes.
Was Teofimo Lopez.
Okay.
Teofimo, I think I seen this like 2 days or day after the situation.
His last fight, Cepeda. His last fight. You don't know how many people are talking about him?
Reports say Teofimo wasted no time jumping on social media, firing off a series of posts that had fans laughing nonstop, while also raising some serious doubts about whether Shakur is truly ready for the biggest fight of his life. His comments quickly grabbed attention because they didn't just poke fun. They hit straight at Shakur's credibility. One insider claims Teofimo shared a post that went something like, "So let me get this straight. The guy who's supposed to beat me just got put to sleep by someone he won't fight because they're brothers. Make that make sense." That single message exploded across social media almost instantly, going viral on multiple platforms as fans rushed to the comment sections demanding to see the sparring footage for themselves. At the same time, many started questioning whether this moment could shake Shakur's confidence as he gets closer to the Lopez fight. But what most people don't realize is that there's much more behind what really happened inside that gym. And the reason Teofimo is celebrating this so loudly points to a rivalry that runs far deeper than the public has ever known.
Shakur, he said that the training, he probably did too much training for that fight that caused him injuries. So a lot of these fighters kind of don't understand. It's like, yeah, you got to put in the work, right? Yes, you got to put in the miles, you got to put in the conditioning, everything. But at the same time, you also got to listen to you.
But before getting into the explosive details surrounding the knockout and Teofimo's ruthless trolling, there's some important background that makes this entire situation even more intense. Just days before news of the sparring incident leaked, boxing insiders started noticing some unusual activity between Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis on social media. These are two fighters who constantly refer to each other as brothers, publicly saying they would never fight one another for any amount of money. At the same time, they were seen training out of the same facility in Newark, posting clips and photos that made everything look calm and supportive on the surface. However, people who were actually inside the gym tell a very different story. According to multiple sources, the energy between them wasn't nearly as friendly as fans were led to believe. There was clear tension in the air, competitiveness that went beyond normal sparring, and moments that suggested whatever relationship they had behind closed doors was far more complicated than the brotherly image they present to the public.
Whatever they had going on, but Keyshawn kind of punched them, but it was a heated moment at the time. And when Keyshawn did, I think Teo, from my point of view, I felt like it was time for Teo to do something. Do something at that point in time. Somebody just punched your dad.
One trainer who chose to stay anonymous revealed that the atmosphere inside the gym felt uncomfortable the moment both fighters walked in. According to him, the tension was obvious and almost unavoidable. These are two fighters with huge confidence and strong personalities. And even though they share a friendship, there's always been a quiet but serious rivalry between them. Deep down, Both believe they're a superior boxer, and that unspoken competition has followed them for years. What was meant to be a calm, technical sparring session quickly turned into something much more intense. The session was originally planned to help Shakur sharpen his timing and reactions ahead of Teofimo's speed and power, not to turn into a battle. However, many boxing insiders believe the frustration between Shakur and Keshin didn't come out of nowhere. It has been slowly building over time because both fighters are elite-level talents chasing the same spotlight, the same respect, and the same big opportunities in the sport. Sources close to the camp claim that even before the sparring started, there were heated conversations about how hard the session should be. Keshin reportedly wanted to push the pace and raise the intensity, while Shakur was more cautious, especially with a massive fight against Lopez coming up. That difference in mindset is what many believe sparked the situation and pushed the already tense energy in the gym over the edge.
Y'all already know. I promise you already. T.O. better be working. Because I promise you I put in so much work this camp. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm just checking in with y'all real quick, letting y'all know. Better bag.
Lopez fired back immediately, claiming that Shakur's memory is conveniently selective about how those sparring sessions actually played out. You're out here lying to the people. Shakur, those sparring sessions were years ago. And if I remember right, by the third round, I was finding my rhythm and you wanted to stop. But keep telling your stories. The exchange got so heated that Teofimo's father, Teofimo Lopez, Sr., jumped into discussion and took things to a whole new level with his commentary.
Made you mention my name in that interview? Just a question.
You said Crawford will beat me.
It's just an opinion.
I don't like it. I hope you respect that part.
I respect it.
I'm not saying Pedraza's gonna beat you.
Nah, I ain't say that. Because you know that's not gonna happen.
My son has beaten world champions. He's beaten former undisputed champions. Shakur hasn't fought nobody at that level. We're about to expose all of that on fight night. These words clearly got under Shakur's skin, and you could see the frustration building as he tried to stay composed while responding to the attacks coming from both Lopez men. Shakur fired back at Lopez Sr. with some sharp comments about his training, methods, and whether Teofimo is really getting the best preparation for this huge challenge. With all due respect, I've been watching Teo's recent fights, and I'm seeing a lot of problems. I'm seeing defensive lapses. I'm seeing him getting hit with shots he shouldn't be getting hit with. The chess match between these two fighters goes far beyond just the physical side of boxing, as both men are clearly trying to get inside each other's heads before they ever...
I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen T.O. his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy, like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy. I thought it was cool, so it kind of made me want to get in a ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Fans watching the confrontation unfold online had extremely strong reactions, with the boxing community split almost right down the middle on who they think will come out on top. One fan commented on social media, Shakur is going to box. Circles around Teofimo. The skill gap is too wide and Teo knows it. That's why he's so emotional right now. Another fan offered a completely different take on the matchup. Teo is going to break Shakur's will with body shots. One Stevenson feels that power.
He said something like,
hey guys, I think it's very important for us to really think about Keyshawn Davis and his situation. I know personally that he's going through it mentally, and how I know this is because I was there. I've been there. I'm wishing the best for Keyshawn Davis. God willing, he finds.
Many boxing experts have weighed in on the psychological warfare side of this rivalry, and most agree that whoever wins a mental battle will hold a major advantage come fight night. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas discussed the matchup during a recent broadcast and his analysis offered some fascinating insight into what both fighters need to do. This fight is going to come down to whether Timo can make it ugly enough to break Shakur's rhythm. If Shakur gets comfortable, it's going to be a long night for Lopez. However, other respected voices in boxing have taken the opposite stance, arguing that Shakur...
Would Teofimo knock out Shakur? No. Can Teo adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Teo. They both hate what each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers.
What makes this rivalry even more compelling is the history between these two fighters that stretches back to their amateur days when they were both climbing through the ranks. Both Timo and Shakur represented Team USA at various international competitions, and there's always been an underlying competitive tension between them over who was the better amateur. Although they never fought each other in official amateur competition, the sparring sessions they shared became the stuff of legend in certain boxing circles. Different people who were present during those sessions have offered wildly conflicting accounts of what actually happened, which only adds more intrigue to their professional showdown.
Fighters, I think that he did some great things against them guys. I seen a lot of weaknesses in his game too, and something that he said earlier, he said, Teo never lost to Southpaw. Well, I never lost to Orthodox. So it ain't no different, but
the difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
Okay, I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
One passionate supporter pushed back hard against the rumors, saying that even legendary fighters like Mike Tyson have been dropped in sparring and that it didn't define their careers or their performances on fight night. According to this fan, the incident means absolutely nothing in the bigger picture, and Shakur is still expected to outclass Teofimo and prove that he operates on a completely different level than everyone else at 140. This sharp divide in reactions highlights a deeper reality within boxing culture. Whenever stories from private gyms make their way into the public eye, fans tend to believe whichever version supports the opinion they already had. Facts become secondary to loyalty, and narratives spread fast. What has really fueled the conversation, though, is the timing of this alleged knockout. The fact that it supposedly happened so close to Shakur's highly anticipated fight with Teofimo Lopez has raised serious questions and concerns across the boxing world, adding even more pressure and uncertainty to an already massive matchup.
Either Teofimo, I guess.
Yeah, senior.
Every fight is a different version.
Senior, tell him we talking to senior. We ain't talking to little dude over here. Senior, what up?
The confidence in Shakur's voice was unmistakable, but it also revealed something that Teofimo immediately pounced on during his reply. Lopez pointed out that despite Shakur's perfect record, he hasn't faced the level of opposition that Teofimo has throughout his career, and that gap in experience will matter greatly.
A lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity.
I want to prove myself, but I also want these guys to fight each other too. You know, I want these guys to prove that they that too. I'm not gonna be I can't be the only guy that's.
His defensive skills rank among the best in the entire sport, and he has an uncanny ability to make elite fighters miss badly while landing his own shots with accuracy. However, critics of Shakur point to his sometimes cautious approach and question whether he has the power to truly hurt Timo if the fight turns into a war. On the other hand, Teofimo Lopez brings a completely different energy into the ring with his explosive combinations, underrated power and willingness to take risks to get his offense going. Lopez has shown throughout his career that he can adapt. His style.
You mistake me for
But
Bud.
that's your, but
I was
ain't you
cheering for you, bro.
Who you ain't you
I was
biased?
cheering for you.
You were?
Yeah, for sure.
I bet.
I wanted you to win so I could be the person who beat you.
What's the issue between you and
for
Bud?
sure. I'm gonna give you your first loss.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I promise you you're not.
All right, bet.
Y'all being too nice up.
His greatest weapon may be his belief in himself, as Teofimo has pulled off major upsets throughout his career by refusing to be intimidated by bigger names or reputations. The knockout he scored over Richard Kami, the dominance of Vasily Lomachenko, and his win over Josh Taylor all came when people questioned whether he could deliver under pressure.
In this fight, saying that you got more to prove and that the lights is too bright for you. What do you feel about that?
Man, I don't believe in pressure. Pressure, you could make diamonds or bust pipes. And at the end of the day, I'm a diamond, so I've been shining my whole career. It's not going to stop now.
The situation has grown even more complicated with what fans are calling the brother angle. The idea that Shakur has repeatedly used his friendship with Keshin as a reason to avoid professional fight. Social media has been relentless, pointing out the irony that the same fighter he claims to care too much about a face in the ring is the one who reportedly knocked him out in sparring. Across platforms, fans are debating what they see as Shakur's real motivation for refusing the matchup, suggesting that this knockout exposes his true hesitation. One well-known boxing commentator summed it up bluntly, saying that while the brother excuse sounds nice publicly, the sparring incident tells a very different story. According to them, Keshin's performance in the gym demonstrated exactly why Shakur might be reluctant to face him in a real fight. These conversations have exploded online, gaining massive traction, with thousands of fans agreeing that the knockout may have revealed Shakur's genuine feelings about stepping into the ring with Keshin, challenging the narrative he's presented to the public for months.
Crazy, man. He talks crazy about black people. He talk crazy about Puerto Ricans. Man, he gonna pay for it. He gonna pay for it January 31st. It's time to show him what the level is. I don't think he realized what the level is, so I can't wait to show him.
Shakur doesn't look good. That's when they say he's born. The thing is, Teofimo Lopez is an excellent fighter. He beat Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. How did he beat Lomachenko? By being patient. Y'all sleeping on Teo. And it's at 140. Now, the thing what's wrong with Teo is Teo also looks good as a counter puncher when you are a volume puncher too. Another thing is Teo looks very great when he's down.
Lopez has been particularly vocal about this brother angle, using it as a key part of his psychological strategy against Shakur ahead of their huge upcoming fight. Sources say that in private training sessions, Lopez reportedly made pointed comments along the lines of, "How are you going to beat me when your own brother just knocked you out and you're too scared to even put that fight on paper because you know what happens when it's for real?" Statements like this have struck a chord with many fans, tapping into a long-standing debate in the boxing community about Shakur's willingness to take on the sport's toughest challenges. For years, fans have questioned whether he truly seeks out the most dangerous opponents or prefers to avoid fights that could genuinely test him. Lopez's pointed remarks and the sparring incident have only intensified that conversation, adding a new layer of tension and intrigue as fight night approaches.
You know, Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world.
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
Perhaps the harshest part of Teofimo's campaign has been how he's taken to social media to target Shakur's confidence and public image. Sources tracking Lopez's online activities say he's been posting a series of messages clearly designed to amplify the impact of the sparring knockout story, turning it into a psychological weapon. One post that quickly caught attention, reportedly from Teofimo's account, read simply, "Training going great. Nobody in my camp putting me to sleep. Different levels." It was short, but the message was clear. He was highlighting the contrast between his camp and Shakur's sparring incident, sending a pointed reminder to fans and opponents alike that he sees himself on a different level. Posts like this have only added fuel to the ongoing debate, keeping the hype high while putting additional mental pressure on Shakur in the lead-up to their massive fight.
I respect him so much as a person after he done out of everybody, like out of,
Yeah.
you feel me?
Yeah.
It was like it was him that did.
Teofimo has said on record many times that nobody is like Shakur Stevenson, and that unique challenge is what makes this fight so exciting for him personally. Shakur brings a different kind of test. He's not like anybody else I've fought, and that's exactly why I wanted this fight. I want to prove I can beat the best. Shakur has also praised certain aspects of Teofimo's career, especially his willingness to take dangerous fights and his achievements at such a young age. Teo has done some great things in this sport. I respect what he's accomplished, but respect doesn't mean I think he can beat me, because he can't. The final press conference before fight week is expected to be even more intense than what we've already seen, with both fighters likely turning up the psychological warfare.
The things that Teofimo is coming out with, I don't think Shakur knows even what to say or reply to it. I wouldn't even want to repeat the stuff that he's saying, but he's making some really, really fruity comments. But I suppose that's one way to get in your opponent's head.
Sources say that Teofimo's team has been very deliberate with every post and comment, carefully shaping the image of a confident champion who is entertained rather than threatened by his challenger. But the impact of this sparring incident goes far beyond just a rivalry between Teofimo and Shakur or their upcoming fight. It has sparked wider conversations about boxing culture itself. From how sparring is handled to the so-called brother excuse fighters sometimes use to avoid certain matchups. Analysts are also raising questions about accountability in the sport. Should fighters be judged for what happens behind closed doors, or should sparring remain private? Many experts point out that high-profile athletes face risks the public rarely thinks about. Leaked footage, insider stories, or even casual comments in the gym can quickly spread online and shape reputations, sometimes unfairly. For fighters at the top level, every action, intentional or not, can have consequences that ripple far beyond the gym, affecting public perception, fan reactions, and even the mental game leading into major fights.
I like Lomachenko. You just objected. You want to tell him how much you like him again? I think you like him. You keep telling him. Objection. What? Tell everyone. False accusation. You got to think, right? That's okay. We accept.
I can't wait to beat this clown, bro. This dude is a clown.
Focus on me.
Better have that chin ready.
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has stayed mostly silent about this particular sparring incident, though he has spoken before about how difficult it is to keep training camp details private in today's social media-driven world. Sources say that promotional teams are constantly balancing two priorities. They want to generate excitement and buzz for the fight, but at the same time, they don't want to publicly confirm or fuel stories that could harm one of their fighters' reputations. It's a delicate line to walk, as every comment or reaction can create electricity in the boxing community, driving conversation and speculation, while also risking unintended damage to a fighter's confidence or public image. In the modern era, even a private gym moment can quickly become a headline, and promoters are keenly aware of how that can shape the narrative leading up to fight night.
Electricity, I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science.
One industry insider offered their perspective, pointing out that sparring stories are often exaggerated or even entirely fabricated. But once a story goes viral, truth doesn't really matter. The narrative takes on a life of its own in the minds of fans, shaping opinions and sparking debates regardless of what actually happened. Amid all the speculation, Keshin Davis has stayed mostly quiet, refusing to confirm or deny reports about the knockout when approached by the media. His silence has been interpreted in different ways. Some see it as an unspoken admission that something significant occurred, while others view it as a sign of professionalism, a deliberate choice to keep private training matters private and avoid fueling unnecessary controversy. Either way, his decision not to comment has only added to the intrigue and ongoing conversation surrounding the incident.
The fight between Stevenson and Lopez. What a fight.
Who wins that?
Lopez. You think Stevenson? Lopez is a very good fighter, bro. I've trained with him. I've heard him on the pod. He bangs hard. He's a good all-round boxer. Slick. A lot of people don't give him the credit for how good of a boxer he is.
As the boxing world continues to debate this controversy, the biggest question still hangs in the air. Did Shakur Stevenson actually get knocked out by Keshin Davis during sparring? And if it did happen, what impact, if any, will it have on his upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez? The truth is, without video evidence or official statements from the fighters themselves, much of what's circulating remains in the realm of rumor and speculation, largely fueled by accounts from gym insiders. At the same time, the fact that multiple independent sources are telling a very similar story makes it difficult to completely ignore. While nothing has been definitively confirmed, the repeated reports suggest that something significant and dramatic likely occurred, leaving fans, analysts, and the boxing community waiting for proof before drawing final conclusions.
The fan and the support and watch.
What about Shakur Teo?
On that one right there, I feel like that's going to be a good fight as far as skill-wise, as far as Shakur actually being there with somebody who got some finesse and can punch. Outside of just being a puncher, you can actually box the fight.
What's clear right now is that Teofimo Lopez has taken full advantage of the situation to control the pre-fight narrative and put Shakur Stevenson on the defensive. Whether the psychological pressure will actually affect the outcome when they step into the ring on January 31st is still unknown. But Lopez has already scored a win in terms of public perception. Meanwhile, Shakur has no choice but to focus all his energy on preparing for the biggest fight of his career, all while knowing that his opponent is using the sparring story to get under his skin and publicly mock him. As fight night gets closer and more information may come out about what truly happened in that Newark gym, fans and analysts alike are left waiting, hoping that the full truth will eventually emerge. Until then, the drama, speculation, and tension surrounding this matchup continue to grow, keeping everyone on edge for what promises to be a highly charged showdown.
The things that I learned from every fighter that I face to now put it on display against Shakur Stevenson. And that is what I'm looking more forward to than anything else. Everybody else, listen, it's just horse, excuse my language.
Hopefully, when fight night arrives, both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez can set aside all the drama and deliver the kind of high-level performance that boxing fans have been waiting for. The sport deserves a fight that lives up to the hype, no matter what may or may not have happened during a private sparring session months ago. That's the real test, seeing two elite athletes step into the ring and show their skills, focus, and determination without letting outside distractions take over. That's all for now. For the latest updates, breaking news, and most exciting moments from the world of boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss quality content like this.